And to shed more light on the importance of this summit, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Noha Bakr. She's a professor at the American University in Cairo. Good afternoon, Dr. Noha.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes. Dr. Noha, how do you see the importance of Jeddah Summit at a time when the world is witnessing great changes?
Well, the summit reflects that there is a clear understanding now from the American administration of the importance of the region. Actually, the American administration, and when President Biden started his term, I think he was not fully informed about how the region is important. And the first step for informing him, or the first incident that informed him, was the ability of Egypt to maintain the truce between Israel and Hamas, and how it has played a role in maintaining security in the region. Later on, I think that the Ukrainian war, Russian-Ukrainian war, have reflected the importance of the region, and even if the United States has self-sufficiency of oil, still the region is important in supplying energy to the rest of the world. I think that with the more the administration has got into the world system and in being involved in the international politics, it recognized that there is wisdom behind certain actions that were taken by the leaders of the Arab world. That's why I think the American administration and President Biden came to continue the strategic relationship between the United States and the region, and this was reflected in the summit. There was a meeting in the meetings in Israel. There was the meetings in Palestine. There was a clear announcement that the solution of the two-state solution is the way out. Maybe it's too early to start the negotiations for peace, but also it brought back the Palestinian case on the agenda. Also, there were meetings in Jeddah on bilateral level with President Biden by the leaders of the Arab world that were there, in addition to the Gulf leaders.
Yes, Dr. Noha, how do you read President Fattah al-Sisi's address to Jeddah Security and Development Summit and the 5 main axes which he presented to confront the region's crisis and the priority issues in the next stage?
As always, President al-Sisi comes with wisdom in his words. Every statement that was said reflects wisdom, reflects needs, reflects costs and benefits of not fulfilling the role that's expected from the leaders in the region and globally also. I think that it has been highly welcomed by all attendees.
Yes. The President referred to the most important foundations of nation buildings. So what are they?
Excuse me, can you repeat your question?
Yes, the President referred to the most important foundations of nation building. So can you elaborate on this?
Well, he reflected on what has always been part of Egypt's foreign policy strategy, which is non-interference in state affairs from others, which is respecting the wishes of nations and also respecting borders of states.
Yes, also on the sidelines of Jeddah Security and Development Summit, President Fattah al-Sisi met with his American counterpart Joe Biden, and both of them agreed to achieve frameworks of bilateral cooperation and enhancing coordination and strategic consultation with Egypt in the upcoming stage. So how do you see the importance of this meeting?
This is a continuation of a long-term strategic relationship. We had the strategic dialogue between the U.S. and Egypt in 2015, and later on after that, there was another strategic dialogue. Egypt has a strong strategic relationship, has always been discussing different issues and has been cooperating on different security challenges like combating terrorism, among others. Has been making sure that the region is in exerting efforts for the stability of the region. I think also that issues regarding Egypt was discussed regarding the economic cooperation as well as the Renaissance Plan.
And how do you see economic cooperation among Gulf countries to achieve development in the region? Of course, cooperating with the United States also to achieve development.
Well, actually, it exists already, maybe attracting more investment, maybe attracting more technology. I'm sure that there were lots of discussions on how also to support countries that are suffering, how to build peace in countries that are suffering in the region. It's a mixture between economic and political and security cooperation.
Yes, Dr. Noha, also one of the topics today that were tackled in President Sisi's speech was the Palestinian issue, and the President's speech touched on several axes, and the first of which is the solution of the problems of the past, especially the Palestinian issue. What's your comment on this issue and its importance, and how can the Arab countries and Gulf countries cooperate to find a solution to this crisis?
I think this has always been the case with every speech the President gave on international level. Whenever he was in the United Nations Summit every September in the General Assembly, he mentions the importance of of solving the Palestinian crisis, and that the region will only be in peace and in safe and stability when the crisis is solved. So what happened today was a continuation to the role that Egypt played in trying to solve the Palestinian issues.
Noha, Noha Bakr, I'd like to thank you, and now we move to a press conference from Jeddah.